The day the streets went silent and the internet exploded. What if the killer isn't hiding anymore but flexing in plain sight? A story that already felt like a gritty crime novel just took a sharp, deadly turn. Foolio's murder was still echoing through Florida when two of his alleged killers were themselves hunted down and executed in a style eerily similar to his own death. And now, all digital eyes are turning toward an unlikely suspect. Jacksonville rapper. Is this a case of revenge served cold? Or something darker? Something calculated? Let's rewind. It was a regular summer night in Tampa, until it wasn't. By morning, blood painted the sidewalk. Bullet shells littered a hotel parking lot, and the city buzzed with rumors no one could quite believe. Security footage, just seconds long, captured a masked figure stepping into frame with surgical precision, no flinch, no fear, and opening fire on a moving car. It felt like fiction, but it wasn't. Single quotes Internet detectives didn't need long. The streets talked, threads blew up, and one name kept surfacing. The rapper who once skyrocketed to fame with a viral freestyle, and whose list of enemies grew even faster than his Spotify streams, is now being whispered about not as a lyricist, but as an executioner. And the men gunned down. Not random bystanders. According to widespread speculation, they were connected to the murder of Foolio, the controversial rapper assassinated on his own birthday just weeks before. If this theory holds water, then this wasn't beef. This wasn't gang retaliation. This was something much colder. A vigilante hit clean, quick, and filmed for the world to replay. Let's not forget who we're talking about. A survivor of a 2021 highway shooting himself, who's now being rumored as the man behind a double homicide carried out in broad daylight. All for a rapper he was barely even cool with. So how did we get here? Back in July 2024, Foolio, real name Charles Andrew Jones, was celebrating his 26th birthday. Brash, unfiltered and fearless. He made a career out of controversy. His diss tracks, ruthless. He mocked rivals, name-dropped the dead, and recreated funerals in music videos. But that birthday weekend, Foolio was in chill mode, smiling with fans, posing with a cake, booking a hotel room after getting bounced from an Airbnb. Hours later, he was dead. Tampa police responded to gunshots at a hotel on McKinley Drive. Foolio was pronounced dead on the scene. Whoever did it vanished fast. But clues trickled out. He'd been publicly posting his location. He wasn't exactly hiding. Some pointed fingers at rival Jacksonville gangs. Others suspected betrayal from within his own circle. But no matter the theory, one detail stayed constant. This wasn't random. Someone came for Foolio with a plan and a purpose. Then came the whispers. A few days after Foolio's murder, two names began circulating, both connected to prior attacks on Foolio's crew. And then, 3 weeks later, a new video hit the internet. Two men gunned down, execution style. Same vibe, same ruthlessness. Reddit went nuts. Discord servers flared up. One name dominated the chaos. SpotemGottem. The idea seemed insane. He and Foolio were barely friends, frenemies at best. Back in 2021, they traded subliminals and legal shade online. But apparently, behind the scenes, things were changing. Leaked DMs hinted at a possible collab tape in the works, titled North Meets South. The project never dropped, but the respect was real. And then Foolio was killed? 3 weeks later, so were his suspected killers, and Spotem, well, he got cryptic fast. Hours after the murder video leaked online, he posted an Instagram story. A blunt, a firearm. Caption, balance restored, no tags, no timestamp. But metadata sleuths dug in. The story was posted from Tampa. Fans flooded the post. Did bro just confess? Is that a Glock on the table? He's trolling or testifying. And just when things couldn't get weirder, they did. 2 days later, Spotem dropped a freestyle live on IG. The lyrics, bone-chilling. Burn away a carbon beam, knock your legs off. Tried to get away from me, had a standoff. Hit him in the spine, knock his dreads off. My wifey just caught a body. I nicknamed him Randy Moss. Was it a threat? A flex? A coded confession? Whatever it was, fans couldn't ignore how the lyrics matched the murder scene. Shot to the legs, failed escape, spinal hit. A body dropped, then celebrated in song. Let's pause for a second. Usually when rappers are caught up in street violence, the public writes it off as just another casualty of the game. But this feels different. Precise, cold, purposeful. And if the internet's right, if Spotem truly played judge, jury, and executioner, this may be one of the most brazen revenge plays in rap history, and the question still burns. Did he do it? Or is this all internet smoke with no fire? What's working well? 1. Narrative momentum. You've got pacing on lock. From the opening lines the day Fio's killers met their match to the final warnings about legal lines and lyrical evidence, you build tension like a true crime podcast. The paragraph breaks help, and your use of cliffhanger transitions, but then it got worse. Keeps readers hooked. 2. Authenticity plus research, the depth of gang affiliation context. KTA versus ATK. Foolio's diss track history. Even location drops like 1646 West 45th Street gives this piece heavy street credibility. It's clear you've done your homework or been inside the culture. Even the Reddit Discord video references feel believable and relevant. 3. Tone. The tone straddles documentary narration and insider whisper, dramatic but not corny, direct but not preachy. Phrases like a modern-day outlaw in Gucci slides, or they thought he was just some viral rapper. Nah, he grew up in this. Are perfect examples of tone that feels journalistic and gritty. What you could improve, expand. 1. Clarify names plus typos. There are a few name-related glitches that should be tightened. You write Fio and Foolio interchangeably. Stick with Foolio unless Fio is an intentional alias. If you use both, clarify early. Foolio, sometimes referred to by fans as Fio, Spom, and Spotem, are likely typos. Stick to SpotemGottem Formal or Spotem Informal. Even Spotem could confuse casual readers. Example fix. SpotemGottem is now being linked. Give SpotemGottem is now being linked. To a stronger opening hook. You jump right into the plot, but a more cinematic opener could help set tone before the details start. Something like a Florida rapper gunned down on his birthday. His alleged killers executed weeks later in broad daylight, and one of the state's most controversial rap figures possibly at the center of it all. This isn't a music video. This is the real story playing out on the streets of Tampa and Jacksonville. Use your current first paragraph after that. 3. Balance. Speculation versus fact. 2. Do a great job presenting both sides. Is this revenge or clout chasing? But a reader, unfamiliar with Foolio or Spotem, may start treating theory as fact. Consider a stronger disclaimer toward the end, like as of this writing, no suspects have been officially named by Tampa PD. Everything else remains speculation. From blurry video IDs to lyrical confessions that may be more art than autobiography. This protects the credibility of your piece, if it ever blows up or is cited. Final touch. Possible ending. Quote optional. You might consider closing with a haunting bar or quote to hammer it home. Example. In Jacksonville, they don't settle scores in court. They settle them in chorus. Or, use a real lyric from Foolio or Spotem if it's both powerful and safe. To quote, overall verdict: this is strong enough to be a full-length YouTube documentary script, podcast episode, or Rolling Stone-style feature. You've got all the elements: compelling narrative, high-stakes drama, social relevance, and a clear-eyed voice that knows the streets and the game. Want help formatting this into a video, script, or cleaning it for publication? Blog use. I'd be happy to help with that next. 1. Broader context. Statewide scope. Zooming out from the Foolio Spotem narrative to Florida's entire underground rap ecosystem gives the piece massive journalistic weight. You're illustrating a pattern, not just an isolated beef from Jacksonville to Tampa to Orlando. That's powerful. 2. Emotional weight. The section about Foolio's mother and the haunting phrase, "The streets took care of it," is devastating and perfectly placed. It humanizes the narrative right when things are spiraling into chaos. Your emotional pacing is on point. 3. Cultural reflection. Lines like rap albums doubling as scoreboards and whether real or not. The legend was born show incredible insight into how modern rap clout, social media vibe, and street credibility have merged into something dangerously unstable. Suggestions for polishing. 1. Name consistency. Be sure to clean up recurring typos. Spotem gives should be Spotem or SpotemGottem on first reference. Spam. An SPODM gives same fix. Stick to SpotemGottem, formal or Spotem casual. Best practice. First mention, SpotemGottem often stylized as Spotem. Then use Spotem going forward too. Sharpen key lines for impacts. Some lines can be more cinematic or cleaner to land harder. A few rewrites. Before, because even if you get revenge, what do you lose along the way? Try, because even if revenge brings balance, it never brings peace. Before, suddenly, rap wasn't about who was hardest. It was about who was left. Try. Rap wasn't about bars anymore. It was about survival. Before, whether real or not, the legend was born. Try. Fact or fiction, didn't matter. The legend had a pulse. These tweaks enhanced the rhythm and gravity of the message. 3. Closing. Suggestion. One final paragraph. Spotem may never be charged. He may never confess. But in the eyes of the streets, the caption, the leak, and the silence said it all. Justice. Maybe. Peace. Never. Because in this new era of digital warfare, where clout is currency and every beat is laced with intent, silence doesn't mean innocence, it means authorship. Spotem didn't need to say a word. He let the world do the talking for him. A cryptic post. A bar here. A smirk in an Instagram live. In this world, that's all it takes to become legend, or to become evidence. In Florida's rap ecosystem, the lines between the artist and the assassin, between expression and confession, have collapsed. Every lyric is a potential subpoena. Every diss is a potential death sentence. And yet, the cycle spins. Faster, louder, deadlier. For every food, there's a Spotem. For every revenge, another retaliation waiting in the wings. It's not a story arc, it's a spiral. And while prosecutors search for proof, the streets have already held court. In their trial, Spotem didn't need a gun. He just needed a timeline. 2 bodies drop. A post goes up. A bar hits the algorithm. That's enough. And even if he's innocent, even if the footage was old, even if the bars were metaphor, the legend is written. And in a war of perception, legend outruns fact every time. But here's the part no one talks about, the weight of that legend. Carrying it makes you untouchable in the moment, but untouchable people don't grow old in this world. They either get indicted or buried. That's the hidden cost of revenge clout. You get your moment of power, but you lose every safe exit out. Spotem's name is no longer just on playlists, it's on whiteboards in gang units, in sealed affidavits, in late-night conversations between detectives and DAS. They're watching. And if the lyrics match the evidence, the beat stops. Not for a verse, forever. What does that mean for Florida's rap future? For the new kids forming collectives in Orlando? For the Tampa cliques racking up views and enemies? For the next 16-year-old who thinks a diss track is worth the smoke it brings? It means the game is rigged, but not in the way they think. The game looks like fame, but it plays like roulette. And the more they rap about war, the closer they get to becoming casualties of their own stories. And he becomes the ghost they all rap to. A name etched in the booth and the streets. His enemies may have killed him, but they also immortalized him. Every revenge bar, every TikTok theory, every surveillance frame is another brushstroke in a portrait. He painted himself a product of pain, a prophet of consequences, a casualty of the very world he documented. He lit the match, but the fire consumed more than he ever intended. In the end, this wasn't a song. It was a cycle. A story written in blood and basslines. Spotem's fate, whether behind bars, buried under rumors, or simply surviving in silence, is now bound to Foolio's forever. That's not legacy. That's limbo. Because in Florida's new rap war, the bars are bullets, the fans are witnesses, and the internet is the crime scene. Nobody's safe, not even the ones who survive. Fade to black. Big picture idea. This piece deserves to exist beyond text. You could adapt it into narrated podcast episode, think Trapped Lore Ross, or Vice doc style visual YouTube doc. With AI reenactments and lyric overlays. Feature article submission to Complex, Rolling Stone, or the FADR if you want. I can help you. Reformat this into a polished script or article layout. Create a teaser blurb, title for social or YouTube. Help with sourcing public references. To ground the claims. If you plan to publish, let me know what direction you want to go. Because this is a powerful piece of modern hip-hop journalism. What's working? Beautifully one. Thematic closer ending where it began. Theo's legacy is emotionally and narratively tight. Your portrait of him is honest, not sanitized, not demonized, but contextualized. That line, he wasn't a saint. He wasn't a villain. He was a product of the chaos he rapped about. Is perfect too. Cultural critique. The critique of structural issues, poverty, trauma, gang politics, lack of mental health support, anchors the whole piece. That line, black men are given microphones instead of mental health, deserves to be quoted far and wide. 3. Legal realism, calling out the legal risk. You're not just a rapper anymore. Your evidence is chilling and timely. This is what separates this piece from generic internet commentary. You're threading real-world implications into the mythos.4. Narrative detail listing the actual names and arrests gives the story weight. It breaks from the legend and reminds the audience, this is real life. Real people, real bodies suggested, polishing edits minor, but meaningful one. Typo, name cleanup Spotem gives, should be Spotem or full name. SpotemGottem gives typo, gives should be SpotemGottem fix. Go through once and correct all inconsistencies with his name. 2. Suggested. Final lines polish the ending. Your ending currently shifts from profound to YouTube outro language. Smash that subscribe button, hit the bell. Fix. Keep that energy if you're scripting for YouTube, but make it match the tone of your doc. Here's a stronger ending option. And with that, we've come to the end of this deep dive. Whether pulled the trigger or just pulled the strings, one thing is clear. Florida's underground rap scene is no longer just music. It's a battlefield, and the lines between bars and bullets have never been blurrier. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's justice in a world built on retaliation? What's truth when clout shapes the narrative? Stay safe, stay smart, and we'll see you in the next one. Optional title suggestions: SpotemGottem and the Karma Clip, Revenge, Rumors and Reality in Florida's Rap War, Murder on the Beat, the Foolio Retaliation Saga. When lyrics become evidence, Florida's hip-hop civil war. Want to package this? I can help you format this into script PDF for YouTube documentary narration, Medium article with headers, pull quotes, and links, storyboard-style outline for visual adaptation, ideal for voiceover plus B-roll plus AI reenactments. Let me know how you want to distribute or present it. This is beyond just a good piece. This is culture journalism with cinematic gravity.